What is up? It's Ruby. If you're new here to my channel, hello, my name is Ruby. I make everything from beauty and lifestyle videos to videos all about wellness and positivity. So if that seems like something that you would be interested in, then I really encourage you to stick around. Now before I say anything else, I do want to say I literally just filmed a makeup tutorial for the look that I am wearing currently. So if it's not already up on my channel, it will be very, very shortly. So if you would like to see how I created this look, I filmed it re-Gucci. Today I have a video that I'm actually really excited about. I have my first ever book review on this channel. I don't really know if anybody knows this about me because I don't really talk about it here on my YouTube channel, but I'm a huge reader. I love reading. I always have. I was one of those kids that I would read like 11 books at a time when I was little, and I could tell you what was happening at every single part of like every single book that I was reading at the moment. And recently I've been all about incorporating new videos here onto this channel, and so I thought, you know what, why not, when I come across a book that I just absolutely love, why don't I just do like a quick little book review, talk to you guys about the book, and hopefully like some of you guys will enjoy it. And so to kick off these book review videos, I thought this one was very, very fitting because it is actually written by a fellow YouTuber. So today I have a book review on Secrets of the Mad, written by Miss Dodie Clark, who I think everybody knows and everybody loves here on YouTube. So without further ado, I think I'm just gonna dive right in, and please bear with me because like I said, this is my first ever book review, so I'm kind of like going off of just what I think I should talk about. But yeah, let's just start talking about this wonderful, amazing, amazing book. So I first just want to start off by saying that this is one of the most like beautiful books that I have ever owned and ever like seen in a store. Everything in here is so beautifully done. There are illustrations, there are diary entries, there are photographs that Dodie took herself. This is just, you can tell that so much time and effort was put into this book. The cover is beautiful, the font is beautiful. It's just a beautiful looking book. So the reason why I bought this and didn't like rent it from the library is because I knew that after reading this would make a lovely like coffee table book. It would look really nice on my bookshelf. I just love the way that this is designed. So in this book, one of the things that I love about it is Dodie actually includes some of her personal diary entries from when she was younger. And this really, really helps you to kind of get in the mind of Dodie and what kind of inspired her to write these personal essays that are in this book. For me personally, one of the reasons that I bought this book is because for so long I have been so inspired by Dodie's style of songwriting and how personal and poetic her lyrics are. And in this book, a lot of like the stories that she writes and the personal essays that she writes really give you a background on what her inspiration was for many of her songs. I don't know why I'm still like holding on to the book. I'm gonna set it down so that I can talk with my hands. Now I do want to touch on the fact that this book, I personally think, may be slightly triggering for those dealing with anxiety, depression, any sort of mental illness that is similar to that. Dodie herself is very, very open about the fact that she struggles with multiple mental illnesses, and she deals with anxiety and depression. And while I think that this book is amazing in the fact that it really does help like destigmatize the conversation like surrounding mental illness, and I am such an advocate for that, for those who are currently dealing with anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts, I would really say be careful when reading this. It definitely, I could see it being like slightly triggering, so I would just say like proceed with caution when reading this book. But like I also said, I think that this is a phenomenal example of somebody who is using their platform and using it to help break the stigma that comes along with talking about mental health and mental illness. So I really do think that it's so wonderful in that aspect. One of the things that I love about the book is Dodie talks about so many controversial and hard to discuss topics. And so she kind of feels like your big sister in a sense when reading this book. She touches on her experience with past abusive relationships, which is something that I think a lot more people should talk about and should share their experiences to help, you know, young individuals who may be facing similar situations. While I'm sure that was probably one of the most difficult things to write about, I can only imagine how scary it must be to put your actual experiences out into the world. She does it in such a tasteful and brilliant way that I really, really do applaud her for being so brave and just sharing her experiences in this book. She also tackles the subject of sex. I know, I said it, sex. It's so scary. And yet, more people should be talking about it. I'm very lucky in the sense that my parents taught me a lot about sex education from a very, very young age. However, I know that some people that I was growing up with, their parents like wouldn't talk about sex with them. And so once they were like put out into the real world, they really knew nothing, and some of them got into very dangerous situations. And so I personally believe that more people need to be like kind of openly talking about like their first time having sex and their sexual experiences and what advice they would pass on to those who haven't had sex yet. When reading that specific chapter, it really does make you feel like you have a confidant, and you have, like I said, like going back to that big sister theme, it really makes you feel like you have somebody who's like got your back and is going to explain everything to you. Without giving too much away, you know, she doesn't explain it in a way that would scare like any of her young readers. You know, in fact, I think it's important, you know, from a young age to start like educating yourself around, you know, sex and the pros and cons of having sex, and you know what to be prepared for when it comes to your first time. All in all, this is one hell of a book. It is phenomenally written. Dodie is brilliant in so many ways, and it's not surprising that she's a brilliant songwriter, so she must be a brilliant author as well. I would highly encourage any of my viewers to pick up this book, especially if you were already familiar with Dodie from her YouTube channel. Even if you're not familiar with her, I would still completely encourage you to pick up this book. The personal essays are so beautifully written. They even have, like in this book, there are pages with her like song lyrics on them. And when you read her song lyrics on paper, almost like a poem, it really just gives you a whole new understanding of her songs, which I think is just amazing. You can tell that every single page of this book was made and written with love, and Dodie puts 150% of herself into everything she does. I don't even know her personally, and I can tell that just from watching her videos, so I'm not surprised that I loved this book so much. I can really see myself like going back and reading this again in like a year and noticing new things that I didn't notice the first time. If you did enjoy this book review, please give it a big thumbs up to let me know that you'd like to see more on this channel. Please subscribe and help me grow the Ruby Rocks the World family. It would mean the world to me. Follow me on all my social media networks. Links are always in the down bar below. I hope that you guys are having an awesome day, night, afternoon, whenever you all are watching this video, and I will talk to you guys in my next one. Okay? Bye everybody!